started. This is also around the exact same time that the entire cryptocurrency market began moving higher, with Bitcoin surpassing $50,000 on the news that the United States has no intention of banning cryptocurrency. Bank of America admits it's too large to ignore, and US Bank launches a new Bitcoin custody service for institutional investors. In this case, a rising tide lifts all boats, and Shiba Inu to some degree was going to see that momentum alongside with everything else. On top of that, a post by one of the Shiba Inu developers announced a new NFT project, which would include a token burning mechanism that will continually lower the circulating supply of Shiba Inu, and therefore potentially cause the price to go up higher. So it seems as though a combination of factors all happening at the exact same time caused the price to go up, based on not only the token's own functionality, but also the promise of making as much money as possible with all the hype and excitement. But then, of course, the question becomes, is it too late to buy? Is the price unsustainable, and can it ever actually reach a penny? That's a great question that I'll pretend you asked me, even though I asked myself, and now I will answer my own question. Well, to figure out how much it could be worth in the future, and if it could ever reach 1 penny, we'll need to work backwards. As of now, there are 400 trillion Shiba coins currently in circulation. However, that's a little bit misleading because Shiba Swap offers a feature called bearing, which is just a canine way of saying staking. This is essentially where you temporarily take your coins out of circulation, and the longer you do that, the more rewards you get.
But Graham, how does that make the price go higher?
Well, let me explain that in a really easy, oversimplified example. Imagine we have a perfect balance of supply and demand, where there's exactly one seller for every single buyer. In that case, the price is going to remain stable because there's no other force pushing the price up or down. But now let's assume that half of those people decide to bury their coins and take them out of circulation. In that case, if the buyer demand remains consistent, well, now we have twice as much demand as there is supply. And as you would expect, the price is going to rise accordingly. Well, that's kind of what's happening here on a much, much smaller scale as people can decide to bury their coins. Now, in addition to that, with the announcement of their NFT project, they introduced a new way to take even more of that supply off the market. And as they say, whenever the NFT owner changes the name of one of the 10,000 Shiboshi NFTs, $100 worth of SHIB will be burnt. And if everyone names their Shiboshis, that'll be a $1 million burn. Although personally, I would just not name your NFT. And that way, you would hope that the value remains even higher to the next person who wants to put their name on it. But you know what? That's none of my business. Now, in all fairness, a $1 million burn on an $8 billion market cap only reduces the overall supply by 0.000125%, so it's barely a difference. But if more and more people bury their coins, that could, in theory, reduce circulation from the market and drive up the price if there's more demand. Although I also think it's important that we are realistic here, because naturally, the higher the price goes, the more selling pressure there's going to be from longtime holders who want to cash out with a life-changing amount of money. And at its current market cap, if we're ever expected to see a penny, then either 99% of the circulating supply needs to be burned, or significantly more people need to buy in. And by significant, I mean an unprecedented amount of money. Like assuming 350 trillion Shiba Inu coins are in active circulation, 1 penny Shiba Inu would give it a market capitalization of $3,960,440,000,000. Or basically, that's more than 50% higher than the entire market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies combined. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unless there's a major change to the functionality of this coin that removes 99% of it from circulation, 1 penny Shiba Inu is pretty much impossible for a very, very, very long time. And personally, I think the aspect that seems very appealing to quite a lot of people is that it just seems inexpensive. Just from a marketing perspective, it seems like a lot of people have the perception that it's a lot easier for something to go up in value from 1 penny to 2 pennies than it is to go from $100 to $200, regardless of whether or not that's actually the case. It just gives the illusion that your money is going way further than it actually is, because all it has to do is go up a fraction of a penny and you're rich. And not to mention,